Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy I said Tuesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it. I'm going to be recapping this week's episode of Sister Wives. It's not going to be as snarky or as humorous as it typically would be. This week was a week that we knew was coming. It deals with a very hard, dark, difficult subject. I'm going to give trigger warnings right up front. I'm also going to put a trigger warning with my title. This is the episode, like I said, that we knew was coming. If you follow the news at all, if you've seen anything in the news, last year it had come out that Cody and Janelle's son Garrison had unalived himself, and we knew that this was the episode that something was like this was going to be discussed, because right up front there was a disclaimer that it does include a subject matter, this subject matter. Okay, so I'm not going to, it's not an episode where it calls for snarkiness, and I truly don't want to do that, just because I have some experience with the subject. So I don't want to make light of anything in this. So we start off though, they start off the subject. They start off this week with Christine and David. They have the kids over. Everybody's playing, and the Frisbee goes over the fence. So David, the kids are trying to get over the fence, and Christine says, "Don't do that. Don't jump over the fence. I'll go down the steps and get it. I'll go get it." And David's like, "No, I'll just jump over the fence." Well, they butt heads over that a little bit. Now, I made some notes here. Christine is used to being independent. Like in her previous marriage, she was one of 4 wives. We all know. I don't think that Christine was the favorite of Cody's. So she was very independent. So for her, to me, it seems like she's the one who wears the pants in the family. Like I don't want to say she's fighting hard to wear the pants in the family, but I think she does. She's not used to having a husband who wants involved in everything, because Cody didn't want involved in anything, and David wants to be a part of everything. I really feel like it would have benefited these two if maybe they had lived together a little bit longer than they had. Like they met, they went on one date, and then 20 minutes later they got engaged. So I feel like they should have maybe lived together a little bit more. David Lloyd, what do I have written here? So David jumps the fence, and they have a little back and forth, but and Christine's not happy that he did that. However, they really work things out. They fight a little bit about it, but they work it out. Whereas before, it was just Cody's way or the highway, and that's it. Okay. Mary is at her B&B, or her former B&B, because the last guest left, and they are closed. They closed down the B&B. It is now going to be something like that's open for small events, like family reunions or bridal showers or baby showers or maybe weddings. Mary says that she bought the house because it's always been her dream to own the house. It just wasn't her dream to have a B&B. That was her mom's dream. And she also wants to eventually find a man. So if she has this this Airbnb, this business that she has to run, well then, what if you have a man and you want to travel? And she said that she has dated some men, but she feels like two things are working against her. And that's her background in polygamy and also her celebrity. Like people know who she is. So that might make it a little tough. Okay, so they go to a commercial, they come back, and Mary is in the process of getting, set up with the producers to start filming. And suddenly her phone starts ringing and it's Cody. And they're like, do you want to get that? She says, no. She says, no. And he keeps calling and she's like, he can text me. She says, I'm not going to pick up. He can text me. And then I believe he texts, it's an emergency. And she takes, I guess he texts, it's an emergency, and then calls and she picks up. And that's when he tells her that we then see on the screen that Garrison, Cody and Janelle's son, unalived himself and was found unalive on March 5th of 2024. Gabriel had found him, and and it's so sad, and it's just and Mary is just is bawling and is crying. Hunter, Christine's son Hunter had called Christine and told her, and she had said that she said we all knew he was sad. Later on in the episode, she does say that Garrison was had suffered from depression and anxiety. He did go to counsel. He had gone to counseling. And she had said also, well, we'll get to that later, but and then they went back and forth between talking to the sister wives and some of the kids, some of the children, and Cody. And Cody was talking about how the first time it really sunk in with him was when Gwen, I believe Gwen is Christine's daughter, had come, had called him and said, can I come and visit? And sure. So, and Cody was talking to Gwen, and he said just seeing her really break down and sobbing and crying was the moment that that he really became aware of what happened. That was the moment that it hit him and where he just let it out. Janelle had said that she and Garrison would text back and forth, and they would talk 3 times a day. And there were times when he was down and he had started drinking again. And they would talk, and sometimes he would go dark, meaning he would just stop for a little bit. But every time he would come back and continue talking. And everybody it was just so sad hearing everybody talking about Garrison, but the one that really broke my heart was Gabriel. When Gabriel started talking about his brother, that really just shattered my heart, because he was the one who had found him. And just the way he was talking about him, he said he was that Garrison was just genuine, just one of the most genuine people. And he felt like he felt deeper than he ever expressed to anyone. A few days later, we find out from Cody that a few days later, after Garrison had passed, there was a viewing for family and friends, and I was surprised to hear this, but Cody says like the strongest memories and strongest moments that he had in those like 3 days was his time spent with Janelle. I think this is going to change him, and we'll discuss this. But one of the saddest and most beautiful parts of this was when Christine was talking about one of Garrison's favorite quotes from a movie. And it was, I'm not quite sure which movie it was from, but she said, it took her a while to get it out, but which is understandable, but she said, like, they were at the viewing, and she said there's a movie quote that is Garrison's favorite quote, and she was setting it up as to what happened in the movie. I guess she said the dragon dies at the end of the movie and turns into the constellation Draco, which is a dragon. And before that happens, he says, someone in the movie says, when we want to look for him again, we look to the stars. And she looked at, I think it was McKelty. Christine looked at McKelty and said, to the stars. And that tied in perfectly with the title of the episode, I think, was "And the Stars Will Fall" or something like that. And it was just a beautiful quote. Once again, it was when we want to look for him again, we look to the stars. There were just so many wonderful words and tributes to Garrison. Like he just for you saying he was genuine, and he was like the funniest guy you'd meet, and he just seemed like an all-around, just a nice guy. Madison and her husband had talked about how much they really tried to get him to move to North Carolina. Like, her husband was like, we almost had him. Like, he was almost getting ready to move here to North Carolina with us, but it didn't come to fruition. Janelle said he had started drinking during COVID. And he would do this before, where he would drink and then go radio silent for a little bit, but then he would always make his way back. Janelle had said, like, growing up, Garrison really didn't drink. He didn't like the taste of it, but it really started up during COVID. And Janelle and Cody talked about it, and they decided to have him cremated. That was what he wanted. And they would bury him. They would take him back home to Wyoming, and they would bury him next to his grandmother, because she said he loved it there. They both said he loved it there. And Janelle, thank goodness, Janelle has her sister. So her sister's there, like not her sister wife, her sister. And they're talking. And I understand this, because she says that she needs to keep busy. I completely understand that, because especially for me, if I'm like really, really grieving, if I'm very sad and I'm grieving, if I just sit in one place and do nothing, then I'm gonna be worse. Like, my mind is just going to only think of that, and then it's gonna get dark and it's gonna get bad. Like, I'm gonna fall down a hole of depression. So she's cooking, she's baking. That's what I'm talking about. Like, doing something where you're taking your mind off of, where you're focusing your mind on something else, even if just for a little bit. And she's just basically saying, I'm taking it day by day and minute by minute. That's all you can do. She says it's a good thing that she does that she is where she's at. Like, she's in North Carolina. I think it's a good thing too. There's a distance, where she just has a little room to breathe. And Cody is right. I don't agree with Cody on a lot of things, but he really is right that grief really does come in waves. Like, it's just a downward spiral, but then there are maybe moments where you ebb a little bit, and you think, maybe I can see a little bit of sunlight, maybe I can see a little bit of hope. And then maybe you see something that belonged to that person, or you hear a song that reminds you of them, or there's a smell that reminds you of them. And then you're taken right back into like that, grief, that pit of grief. So he's true. That is correct. Grief comes in waves. And Cody is it's really hitting him hard, and he's really feeling this because he says he was never able to make things right between the two of them. He thought he had more time. We always think we have more time. And I think for him, it's the what ifs that's gonna haunt him forever. Like, now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this makes him work to get better with the kids, because now, like, all of the rules that he put out there during the pandemic that pushed people away, and even now he was like, that with this pandemic, with this rules that I made, I mean, it pales in comparison, because look at where you're at now. You made these rules, it pushed people away, and now you're not going to get that time back with one of your kids. So I wouldn't be surprised. I hope this changes him on that. So Cody is going to get the urn, and he's going to he called it almost like a pilgrimage back to Wyoming to bury his son. I would have liked to have seen Janelle go. I mean, I understand, just because Garrison was the closest with his mom. But I mean, I can understand why she wouldn't, but I would kind of like for it to be Janelle who takes him back up there. But this was, Cody, when Cody was talking, I was thinking, this, when he said that what happened during COVID, it just now shows how unimportant it was. That leads me to listen, this is something, I don't talk about it a lot, but I fully believe in tell somebody what you think. Tell somebody what you think before it's too late, because you might have something, you might want to tell somebody something, and then next thing you know, they're gone. So always tell people what's on your mind before you no longer have a chance to. Tell somebody you love them, you know? If just tell them, because you don't know. We're not promised. Like, people are like, oh, I'm young and I'm young and I have years ahead. You might not. I mean, that's just how it is. You might not. Also, check in on people, because it's not always the people that you hear of committing suicide are not always the people that look like they're unhappy. A lot of times you'll hear, how many celebrities have you heard, oh, well, so-and-so was found and it's thought to be at their own hand. They took their life. And you think, wait, that person was always so happy. Like, Robin Williams. When I had heard that Robin Williams had taken his own life, like, always funny, always smiling, always making everybody else laugh, always laughing himself, and then that, you never know what is going on behind closed doors. You never know what is going on in somebody's mind. They could be smiling just to hide the pain. I know. So, like I said, I did not want to. I know everybody's used to my funny and haha jokey, but this was not an episode that I feel deserved that. It was a heartbreaking episode. It was just difficult to watch, and I almost feel like I shouldn't be watching it. I mean, I like that when people come out and talk about mental health and talk about suicide prevention. I like that because it takes that stigma away. That stigma of like mental health, that, you know, it's always like in hushed, yes, you know, it's always in hushed tones. Oh, did you know that so-and-so's kid, mental institution, or they were sent away for a mental institution? It can happen to anybody. Anybody can have any type of behavioral issue. It's not just one socioeconomic group. It's not just one, you know, one age group, one socioeconomic group, one, you know, racial group. It's not. It can happen to anybody. So that's what I'm saying. If you have a friend who maybe you haven't talked to in a little while, reach out to them. Say, hey, are you okay? You don't have to have all the answers. No, you know, not everyone is a trained psychiatrist or psychologist. You don't have to have all the answers or even any answers. If you can just be there as a listening board, you know, if you can just listen and you can just show that you care, that's all that you need to do. So, and I wanted to get this out there too. This was at the end of the episode. And if you are in a situation, if you yourself or someone that you know is struggling or is in crisis, help is available. You can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or you can chat at 988lifeline.org, Once again, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Lifeline, or you can chat at 988, that's 988 lifeline.org. Help is out there. Like I said, if you are in crisis or someone that you know is in crisis, you are not alone. Help is out there. Reach out and get it. Okay? So I'm going to just let you guys know once again, and I say this at the end of all of my videos, and I mean this. Please, I completely forgot. I just want to let you guys know that you are always loved, seen, and heard. I say that because in this day and age, with all the divisiveness and the hatred that's going on, I want everybody to know this is a safe place. So you are loved, you are seen, you are heard. I don't care if you have this skin color or any other skin color that does not look like this. I don't care who you love. I don't care how you choose to identify. Listen, if you choose to identify as man, woman, unicorn, pineapple, I don't give a shit. Okay? So you are loved, seen, and heard, regardless, once again, regardless of if you look like this or not, regardless of who you choose to love. This is a safe place right here. Okay? This is always a safe place. You're always loved, seen, and heard here. Please, when you go out into the world, try as best that you can to put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and understanding out there in the world. Take care of one another because it's crazy out there. So please take care of one another. Just live by the golden rule of treat others as you would want to be treated. Also, please always be aware of your situation. You know, whether you're out in the public or just, what's going on around your own house. Also, please be smart, be safe, hydrate, always drink some water. I'm good at not drinking a lot of water, and then I'm like, oh, I don't feel so great. Why not? Probably because I haven't been drinking my water. And also, if you're in a dangerous situation, please know, Dolly and I are sending our love, our thoughts, prayers, and positive vibes and energy your way so you make it through. I love you guys, and I will see you probably not tomorrow, probably on Friday. Friday, we're going to be doing an unboxing. So what's it going to be of? I don't know. That's a surprise. I'm going to surprise you. So everybody have a great evening. Have a good day tomorrow. Hydrate and get ready for a Friday, okay? Love you guys, and I will see you Friday. Bye, guys. Bye.